It feels so good to have never made any first-time father mistakes. Like forgetting diapers and then the child goes to the bathroom all over the place. Or, forgetting to tie the car seat in, or putting your child's clothes on backwards. I am so glad that none of that happened to me. Reality check. I may have done those things. But we all make a lot of mistakes as first-time fathers. So in this video, I'm going over 8 common mistakes that first-time fathers make. You get to learn what not to do. Hey guys, I'm Jason Kreidman and welcome to another episode of Dad University. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on that notification bell. Also, it really helps us spread our message when you share these videos. So maybe you know a couple people that might enjoy it, please share it with them. As I said, we make mistakes as first-time fathers. So here are 8 common mistakes that we make. Number 1, buying too much stuff. Your partner might convince you that you can never have enough baby clothes. Or you think it's a really good idea to have 3 different strollers. You gotta have one for the car, you gotta have one for jogging, and you gotta have one for just walking around the neighborhood. You might buy a bottle warmer, a sound machine, a video monitor, baby shoes. They don't need shoes until they actually walk. Fancy bedding, bottle sanitizer. We can keep going. We waste so much money on things that we think we need, but they're not needs, they're wants. There are so many items that are really about convenience. They're not necessary. The needs are clothes, food, diapers, maybe some wipes, and a place to sleep. Now, I might be simplifying it, but it's just the case that we buy too much stuff as first-time fathers. I suggest to buy the minimum. Then, if you feel like you need something, and whether it is a need or it's just out of convenience, you can evaluate it a little bit better as you move along. This idea of buying everything in advance and having huge gift registries, it just doesn't make sense because you end up wasting a lot of stuff. The number 2 mistake that first-time fathers make, not accepting help. People who have children understand how hard this time can be. And as a result, they often will offer their help. Even if someone doesn't have children, they may just be offering it because they really want to help you. Now, I know when you first bring the baby home, a lot of people want to have just some time as a family unit, just themselves and not have outside people. But if you and your partner are okay with having family members or friends that you trust in the house to help you and they offer it, let them. Even if it's just for you to get a couple of hours of sleep, it'll be worth it. Friends and family might say, hey, let me know if you need anything. Let them know what you need. Maybe it's a trip to the store, hey, to grab a meal or run an errand. Don't be afraid to accept the help when somebody offers it. Number 3, being empathetic. This isn't just a mistake for first-time fathers, but it's especially important during this time. Whether she's pregnant or you've already had your child, being empathetic is one of the most important things in a relationship, and guys often make the mistake of not being empathetic. Empathy is seeing things from the other person's perspective. It's putting yourself in another person's place and truly feeling what they feel. Now, we can't exactly understand what it's like to carry and deliver a baby, but we can try to put ourselves in our partner's place to see things from their perspective and to try to understand what they are going through. Part of being empathetic is verbalizing it. So when your partner says, oh man, my feet hurt, instead of just saying, well, why don't you put your feet up and just relax? An empathetic response would be, oh man, I can't imagine having swollen feet. That must really hurt. Is there anything I can do to help? So a different response is that you're actually putting yourself in the place of your partner and feeling what it would be like to have those swollen feet. It would not be comfortable. Number 4, thinking you should bond right away. When I was a first-time father and my son was born, I expected that I would feel connected to him right away. Now, the birth was incredible, But it was strange because I didn't really feel that close to him or that connected. And it wasn't until a few months later that I really felt that bond with him. My wife had bonded with him even before he was born. So what was my problem? I realized that I didn't spend nearly the amount of time with him than she did. I took off a little time and then went back to work full time. We made the decision that she wasn't going to work during that time. So she obviously spent a lot more time with him than I did. It was hard for me to accept at first, but as I spent more time bathing and feeding and playing with him, we began to really establish that bond. So that common mistake that first-time fathers make is they think that they're going to bond right away. But it may take some time, especially if you are not necessarily spending a ton of time right at once with the baby. Number 5, calling it babysitting. You are the father. It's not called babysitting, it's called parenting. I always found it funny when I would hear dads say, "Oh, hey, sorry, I got to babysit today." Don't ever say that. My hypothesis on why a father would say that is that he really doesn't think that it's his responsibility to watch the child. He thinks that it's his partner's responsibility. And it really doesn't matter why, just don't say it. It's never called babysitting when it is your own child. Number 6, comparing your baby. Men have a tendency to compare themselves and the things that they have to others. And the baby is no exception. Men love these growth charts with percentages. My baby is in the 95th percentile for height. We will compare height, weight, and his or her abilities. And we'll continue to do that all the way until, we keep doing it even as they're adults. So just stop comparing your baby. Love the child you have, not the one you want. I get it. We like to know where is our baby at in comparison to what's normal. But truthfully, children develop at all different speeds and abilities, and your child is truly unique. Now, of course, you want to be aware that if there's something completely abnormal, you want to be aware of it. But as a general rule, make a great effort not to compare your baby. Number 7 mistake that first-time fathers make, taking things personally. Your baby might cry when you pick them up, or maybe your baby's crying and you just can't seem to soothe them. And so you feel like your baby doesn't like you. Well, that is simply not the case. I know when I was a first-time father, my son was more calm when my wife was holding him. Well, 1, she was more calm, and 2, she held him more often. So he probably was more comfortable. This took time. I had to spend more time with him, I had to hold him more often, and then eventually we were both very comfortable. Whatever you do, don't take things personally. It's not about you. The baby is just trying to survive in this world and understand its surroundings. We men have a tendency to think that everything is about us. Well, maybe that's just me, but don't take it personally. Number 8, thinking you need to be a perfect parent. You don't need to be a perfect parent to be an excellent one. We've talked about these common mistakes, but you are going to make tons of mistakes. Mistakes are just part of the parenting process. Mistakes and parenting go hand in hand. That's the way it is. Give yourself a break and realize that mistakes are inevitable. Yes, we want to learn from our mistakes and we don't want to repeat them. But being a perfect parent is impossible. So the mistake that we make is we think that we need to be perfect, and it's just not realistic. So be okay with making mistakes. Being a first-time father is an incredible experience. It's an amazing journey. My advice to you is to be sure you enjoy the journey. The time goes by so fast that if you don't enjoy the journey, you're gonna miss these experiences and probably stress way too much about things that don't really matter. It is a wild ride, but just make sure you enjoy the journey. I would love to hear from you. Are you a first-time dad? How's the experience going for you? Leave your feedback in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful, you don't want to miss what we have for you in our other videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on that notification bell. Also, if you know anybody that might enjoy this video, please share it with them. We'll see you next time.